Yeah. And we're live.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
How are you guys doing?
How are y'all
Good
on
morning.
this Tuesday?
To you, the birds are chirping. And I didn't even put my thing in because, yesterday was my Sabbath and I just relaxed, enjoyed it, went in deep thought, did some soul searching.
On your Sabbath.
Yes.
That's when you're supposed to relax your mind, body, and soul.
I tried to relax it as much as one could.
Honey, that's what it's all about.
So hope you guys are having a good morning. That if you are traveling today, that you are in good spirits, that you woke up on the best side of the bed because you realize that you have breath on this AM. So no matter what's going on, no matter what disappointments in your life, because, honey, I know I have been disappointed lately. No matter what that looks like, honey, you just keep on going and you just keep on growing, baby. We all get disappointed in life because we have different expectations and we realize, my God, everybody don't got the same. Everybody's not on the same level. So I hope you guys are excited about today. I hope you guys are
happy you woke up today.
And so much crazy stuff going on in the world. You really, really need. There was a new shooting yesterday at the bank
in Texas, Kentucky. No,
yeah, it was KY.
Kansas, Kentucky.
Yeah, it was Kentucky.
Kentucky. I seen something like that.
So yes, there was a whole new shooting. I think by the time I saw it last, they said 6 people were dead from it. I think at first it was 2 people were dead, but that number went all the way to 6 because it was 9 people that got hit. Oh, and earlier in the part of the day when they did the news conference, they talked about, I know, honey, I know.
We had a deep conversation before.
Yes.
We had to get on. We apologize, y'all. It's getting later and later, but
yes, I'm sorry. We were definitely what could have been on by 8:45, but sometimes I gotta release and get ready for the conversation.
Yes, get a sip of coffee or 2.
Oh my God, and this coffee is so what I need this morning.
Yes, that's why I said I feel like your whole brain is just opening up. Like
yes, honey, my brain is opening up for real, for real. Oh yeah, but what they were saying, that it was
who was the shooter?
Somebody who actually Good morning,
worked
Queen.
At the bank.
Somebody who worked at the bank.
A 23-year-old boy who worked at the bank. Yep. Good morning, Queen Jam.
So about what you had to release, thought you did that yesterday.
Lord,
you are
have mercy.
Else. No, I'm very happy with you.
Renew your mind daily. She had to renew her mind this morning. That was yesterday. Old news.
She trying to get some. Have me ready when I get to the house. Start my day off right.
Correct.
He was sleeping so and I was up. I woke up
like a baby.
I think I woke up like a little bit. I got you. I think I've been up since like I would say about 6 a.m. I had woke up and went to the bathroom and couldn't go back to sleep.
Go back to sleep?
And then I was watching TV. Trying to turn it nice and low so I don't wake up.
I think I got up at 7:03. I was up since 7:03.
For real.
On my phone.
But yeah, I know we be jumping around because that's what Coffee and Conversation is all about. But we was asking about, just
the Kentucky shooting at the bank.
Like, oh my God.
I've seen a little bit of that.
Yeah, so it said that he used to work there, and it goes and it said the topic is the world in a state of emergency, right? And it's like in so many different areas, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, not another school shooting, not that. Then it's like it's a bank. Oh, well, he was a ex-employee, and he go in and he opened fire for a daggone. I think he hit 9 people. Of course, they said, and some officers were
killed. Right? Was it 3 of them killed or something? Shot.
Queen Jem was like, I was just in Louisville 2 weeks ago. They seemed so lost, but a lot of people are these days. You see what I mean? There is this blank stare. That's why that the whole idea of this state of an emergency, right? Where we are basically, it's like walking zombies right now, right? Emotions are at a high. Good morning to you. You guys that missed it yesterday, I'm gonna let y'all see my video.
Honey, it's crazy.
When these banks shut down, it's gonna be more shootings. You better be prepared. That's another thing.
Child, you let these banks shut down, it's gonna be pandemonium out here. You talking about people's money? People can't. They gonna feel like what they gonna do without their money.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna pay stuff? How you gonna live? Like the whole world gonna be homeless.
Yo,
it's gonna be crazy. How you gonna buy food? It's about to be crazy.
And I know some people in the Met that are really having a problem with the fact that I was on TikTok and the guy was like, he kept on going to the bank and he was like, I was just here 2 days ago and y'all told me that y'all couldn't give me my money out. And then I came back and y'all still telling me I have to wait. And then a friend of mine was just telling us a story yesterday about how she experienced the same thing where she went in to close her accounts and they said they're going to have her stuff by a certain date. And that date came and going and they still didn't have her money. And it was like, 3 weeks out for her to close her account. So that's what I'm saying. They charge us and really all they doing is using our money because why isn't the money there? If everybody went at the same time.
If this is the money I got in my bank, give me back my money.
But why you think they give you limits?
In my account.
You realize that you give somebody your money and they give you limits on what you can spend.
Daily.
You ever be out? They got a daily spending. How if you're just holding my money at no value to you? You charging me, mind you. How you gonna charge me for about something when you don't even got my money? You can't do it both ways. But it's like if my money ain't there and it's like coming, they'll charge you for something that got bounced. When they're making all that interest off of you because your money ain't really there. And then when you find out, listen, I need my money out the bank. Oh, we got to go get it from where? Get it from who? Yeah. How?
They're going to lift it out.
I said,
they're going to lift it all out, making money off of it.
Chef Ron talking about it's the fake food. You telling me that people, attitudes and energy and depression has something to do with the food they're eating. Because that's going to, that's gonna feed your whole being, your food, your food, your mind, body, and soul, right? Yeah. So it's like when we was talking about, eating right and eating the things that actually give you the energy, give you that different things
that
and
your
the
body
nutrients.
And your cells need to operate properly for your body to work.
Prime example: most people don't drink water. Now your body is made up 70% water. You need so much water to flush, right? And so when you think about it, just drinking water can take away from your going to the bathroom, your digestive system, right? And all of that is about you actually having water. And I was explaining it best of all when I was doing the Dr. Say, because once you get that clarity, it makes it make sense. So it's like, if you put a steak in a sink with no water in it, it's going to tear up the sink, it's going to get rotten, and it's going to decay on the metal over time. But if you fill a sink up with water and drop a steak in that water, when you come back in about 2 hours, that thing is going to be all mushy and then it could go into the intestine to flow easily. But see, we be having clots. So you'll see most people with that midweight, right? And they'll teach you that if your midsection is over a certain amount, that's how you get the different blood diabetes and just high blood pressure, all those different things that come because of your midsection, right? Because that's how it all works and operates through. So if you're drinking the water, it's actually the food that's dropping in your stomach is now sitting in a cesspool of stuff that allows it to break down so that you can use the bathroom freely and it can actually form and it can be a flow of things. So you may find that somebody who's drinking, like if you're drinking soda and other liquids, is turning into sugar. So it's dehydrating you. It's not actually giving you that hydration, right? So you're dehydrating instead of hydrating, right? That's why people who are drinking the sugars in your alcohol have you dehydrated opposed to hydrated, which is why you get more weaker. That's why when you're drinking, you can lose your balance and get off thing because you're dehydrated. So that's why you see people who try to stay sober, they know to drink water and take the shot, and then you'll feel more replenished. But that sugar dehydrates you. So it makes you weak, right? You can die from dehydration if you're not getting, because your body craves water. You're made 70% of water. So of course you need that to continue to flow. So if you're eating all these stuff that are pulling away from it,
and creating
and drying you out, then of course you'll be a desert. So your inside of your body is like a desert, then stuff will sit there, burn and rot and decay. And so now you got your intestines cracking and this doing this because of how you're treating your thing. So if you get a car and you don't put your oil in and you don't take care of the car, it doesn't become an antique. It becomes a broken down junkyard. Right? Same thing with the body. If you take care of the body, it becomes, wow, you look good for your age. If you don't take care of the body, it's like, girl, you look like you double your actual age. So it's all about how you take care of things that dictates your lifespan. And it's easier to say, harder to do, trust me.
It's discipline. It's real.
It's definitely discipline. That's why it's going to be chaos. Listen.
That part, crooks. Straight up crooks.
I agree.
Greed and crooks.
That part.
Dis-ease. Ooh.
It's all about what you are putting into your mind, body, and soul, period. All three of those matter, right?
The people in New York look so happy.
Why New York looks so old? Listen.
That's that hustle and bustle. It's
that hard. Yeah, it's that fast
walking. Honey.
It's the energy too, because
what you looking at for me.
Look, that's what I was about to say. In New York, you say hello and they're like, you know me from somewhere.
So hard,
so it's also that like Queen Jem was saying, is mind, body, and soul, right? Because when you get and that's why God says to renew your mind. He doesn't start with the outside, he starts with the inside. Because once you renew your mind, your body is better, your soul is better, right? For me, mind and soul is the same thing in my perspective, because it's like the soul is like your assignment, it's how you think. So when God says renew your mind daily, is to replenish the soul, which is your assignment, right? Because how I take care of my mind is what I believe, is what my F ends up being, and it's how I receive, right? And so my mind can either be faithful or it could be fearful. But then if I have a fearful mind or I have a doubting mind, when I say, you know what, I want to get my body in shape, I want to get that stuff together, I'm going to keep on telling myself, oh no, but I love sugar. Oh no, but I love cookies. Oh no, but I just cannot stop eating steak. But if you wake up one day and say, I ain't eating steak no more, then that is a mind over matter. Because when you mind your business, then everything matters and you are the business. So when they say mind your business, it's because you're so concerned about what everybody else doing. If I think about what I'm doing, I can change my body.
Like going cold turkey with cigarettes, right? You've been smoking all your damn life, then you just went cold turkey and you just stopped smoking. Oh yeah, people have done it. Or some people stopped drinking. My mom did it. Right? Yes. She just stopped. She made a decision one day and was like, I want to live. I want to live. I want to be here with my kids. I want to be able to be grandma to my grandkids. And I'm not taking another fucking sip. And she did not.
She didn't have
to go through another program. She didn't have to go through
because that's a decision. That's right.
And really was determined and did it. So it's possible. Cold turkey cigarettes. If you're ready to stop smoking, you make a determined decision and you do it in your mind and your soul and say, I'm not doing it, and you do it. Don't do it.
And then when you think about the word decision, for me, I always say it has the word decision in it. So you have to decide what to cut off. Decision, right? A decision is a cut. So if it's a decision, then that is you deciding where you need to cut it. Cut it here, cut it there. So right, it's making that hard decision. Like a decision is a hard stop. Is you don't have time to contemplate. You don't got time. It's a decision. Right now, you got to decide right now what will be cut off. Period.
About to be cut,
honey. So, and it's hard to do that because of oftentimes when we get used to life and get used to things, we be like, oh, I cannot live without this.
You already saying what you can't do. I can't live without. All right, so, well, if that's what you just started with, I already see the outcome because
that part.
That's what you just told yourself. That's why I said always think positive, because when you put the negative out, that's the first thing you put out. So here we go. Ain't no more to be said.
So ain't no more to be said. So I guess that is the big part. But yeah, when we're thinking about what else, there was something else that I just saw for me to say is the world in a state of emergency.
Oh, the Dalai Lama.
Oh my God, the Dalai Lama.
Dalai Lama.
Supposed to be for freedom and healing, and there's a video circulating of him having the little boy kiss him on the cheek, then kiss him on a thing, and then ask them to suck his tongue. Like, I think the boy was like 10 to 12, and I'm like, no, 9 to 10, somewhere in there. And I'm thinking like,
why he do that? How this
so you have somebody, and that's the problem. This is power. Banks closing with your money, telling you how much you can have. Somebody that everybody's looking up to as Buddhism, as healing, as freedom, all these other stuff. And there's so many people that abuse their power.
That part.
Abusing of power is the real issue in the state of emergency that we're in right now. That power abuse is just ridiculous. So you have somebody that is supposed to be trusted, who's supposed to be influential, who's supposed to be doing all these things, and then we make excuses. Well, because I think they was posting like, he likes to play around. That is not playing around. He likes to joke around. You don't joke around like that.
You gotta know what to play around with.
It's just so scary.
How you play around with a child to kiss you like that? Like, what is? I don't understand that. You're doing too much.
I said that.
Kiss him. Then he said,
I said if that. I was telling Chef Brian
tongue off
yesterday when I was reading the storyline. I said, honey, you know how you walk with your kids up to Santa, and you just a guardian watching them over while they meeting Santa or the Dalai Lama in this case. I said, honey, that report wouldn't have been no 3 months later, because they would be like, you would never believe. This mama smacked that couch out of the Dalai Lama, because if you had told my son to lick your tongue,
he would have been punched in the face.
Then I would have lost my religion, and clearly you had lost yours. So it's like when you think about, because that was in the public. Could you imagine what could be going on private if this was a public?
Now, see what I'm saying?
You understand what I'm saying? And the only reason why we're talking about it is because we live in a world of cameras now, that's why I say is the omnipresence of God is everywhere, whether it's good, bad, or not. Everybody can see you. So now you got these people who are taping everything, which is exposing all of the daggone trauma at its highest level and dysfunction that is really going on in the world. And I say in the world because remember, the Dalai Lama ain't from the United States of America. But it just goes to show how, how healing needs to take place as a people. Like it's light versus dark is a responsibility. It is, it's assignment. It's like, it's so much that's going on. And so many people are dropping the ball because it's like, we don't see it, right? And if we don't see it, then it's not real. No, it's still real, whether you acknowledge it or not, but it makes a mess when you don't acknowledge it, right? We're not accountable to the state of emergency that we are in.
You know what I'm sitting here thinking? A PR person has a hell of a job. A PR person.
Right, because that's who had to spin the story. That's what
I'm saying, because you got it's like a fucking lawyer. Defense or offense, whatever. It takes a lot to be that title because you got the spin-off. I'm thinking about Dynasty, how wasn't there always got to defend some shit?
Or Scandal.
Yeah,
just think about Scandal.
Yeah.
The president has his own personal spin-off person.
It's ridiculous.
Always gonna make it look something different. Good morning, Nicole. I mean Nancy. I said Nicole.
Hey Nancy. Like the right that wrong. You gotta think about the right that wrong. Nancy do say I be cursing. Girl, I can hear it now. All right, I gotta do better.
So she said, girl, you be cussing, girl.
She said, oh, I heard you curse. I was like, I was cursing. See, I don't realize I'm doing it.
That's what organic look like.
It's the world. It's got me mad.
Got you upset.
We're in a state of emergency. People just doing
I grew up in a French-speaking household, so sometimes, it falls right out of me. Especially when I understood now as an adult why sometimes I don't got time to use 30 words. I just need to use one word that gets to the point of my level of festivity or, acceleration, but it is hilarious.
Yeah.
You know that I read that what they said that people that cuss are very was it smart? Was it was a phrase, and I said, oh, I received that.
I'll take that, whatever it is. I'll take that. You know, if somebody don't curse, you know they mad. I said my mother used to curse, but my dad ain't cursing. If he cursed, it meant something. Right, and he was mad.
If he used a cuss word, he was kind of using real words with you. You wasn't using real words. You understand? I'm trying to get to the point, but that's hilarious.
This is crazy.
It is crazy.
Told that boy to suck his tongue. To kiss his tongue.
Suck his tongue.
Didn't somebody else do that? Was that a movie?
I don't think. Well, it could have been a movie. You know, we live in the movie days out, to be honest. Like when you just sit and it's like with the new, and that's why it's like the state of emergency. Oh, yeah, and remember that word emergency is emerge and see if you're in a state of emergency, right? Emergency, what it is that you have.
Troy. That was Castor Troy. Face Off when he was like, suck my tongue.
So, right.
The movie. I'm like, I've heard that before.
Did he say it to the new wife? When the wife he was?
Yeah, when he was like
pretending to be. Live and learn, that part, right? You gotta live and learn. You gotta live and learn, and you gotta be.
You're gonna learn today.
You got to be intentional about the lessons, right? I think people are living and learning, but nobody's becoming teachers. And that is where the problem rises, right? Because we live and we learn, and then we sit in a state of, I would say, concern. We sit in a state of anxiety. We sit in a state of unworthiness, but we don't switch over the learning to the teaching. Right? And so you live, you learn, and now it's your responsibility to pay it forward, right? Mm-hmm. To share the lessons that became your blessings, to explain the process, to go through all of those different things. And so I think it is the living and the learning, but we just stop at that learning part and we just sit on the lesson and we never actually help somebody else get to the other side, i.e. becoming the bridge. That part. The movies are a reflection of life, period. They really are.
It is.
Just think about all of the movies you ever seen. It's like
how it be. The movies be just how it be.
I tell you.
Uncut and all. You be like, what the heck, y'all? Because this happening somewhere out here. It's just like that. I was watching Al Pacino, Scarface. Child. Uh-huh. That's how it be. They be moving them keys. They be moving. That's how it be. Like, it's showing you real life stuff going on.
Yeah.
This ain't no play, fairy tale. No, this is really happening.
It's real, yeah.
Somewhere. In the next house across from you. You just never know.
The gun violence is just crazy.
BMF, Ghost, all them daggone movies.
All them daggone shows. But we know because remember, crack infiltrated my household, right?
My household,
right? You know what I'm saying? So it's a part of a lot of people's trauma and a lot of people's story, right? So it was New Jack City.
Come on now, took over the whole damn building, and yes, it happens like that.
Color Purple.
People are fearful. Come on now.
Real life
power.
Stuff.
When people infiltrate their power.
Take advantage of it, right? And so it's like the state of emergency. When you think about it, it's like, man, everything, right? Women are so bossed up that gene of the nurturing mom is lost, and the children are out, right? Because that's another level. That boss meant that we no longer had our femininity. Boss meant that we no longer realized that it was like God, and it was the husband, and then it was the mom, and it was the kids, right? In that order. And so there is something that a mama could do and could invest in. And so we think we could buy our time back, right? So if I can work and get you the new shoes or get you new thing, that it would have value later, but you'll grow up and remember that most kids do not remember what you brought them. They remember how you made them feel, the time you spent, the memories, right? And so it's like, it's just a false sense of reality because everybody has this dream and these goals, and we're forgetting about what's essential, right? And what's essential are the people.
Throwing money at everything.
What's essential are the people. So whether it's the guidance, even of the men who wounded certain women and they never forgave themselves for what they allowed, right, in those relationships because they had no boundaries. And then it became a war against the whole species. So it's men versus women, right? But it says that in the end of the days, right, that the mothers will be fighting with kids and the fathers and mothers-in-laws will be fighting with daughters. Like, it's already written, because that's what happens when everybody lose sight of their assignment. Everybody lose sight because it becomes right. And that's why I say
family unit, man. Mm-hmm. Just tearing of the family unit. Mm-hmm. It starts right there.
And it's work.
It is work.
And as I say, that I choose me is not selfish, it's selfless. But you have to fish for self first. You have to be selfish first. You have to fish for yourself so that you have that kind of understanding of what you came to do. So we don't take life personal and we don't get stuck in yesterday's issues or resentments and all that other stuff, that we become a force to be reckoned with, right? And so it really is embracing that it's up to you to emerge and see, right? That's the emergency. Emerge and see what is in you. Emerge and see what it is that you have. Emerge and see what could you bring, right? And so the emergency is because people aren't showing up in those lessons, right? Becoming the teachers. So a state of emergency is that I need you to show up at some magnitude to be the difference. I need you to show up at some magnitude to make the difference. And so a lot of times we miss that. We miss the responsibility. That's why I say responsibility is the ability of measurement in which you can respond, because the side is measurement. Ability is what you can do. Right? So respond is how you respond. So when you break down that word, it is the measurement of response at your ability. So that's the emergency, right? And so that just means something needs to take place right now. So it's like, how often do we go around or see people and realize that there is so much brokenness? So even like Queen Jen was saying, when I was just out there, everybody looks like the Walking Dead, right? Because nobody's paying attention. Everybody is so focused on what they want, right? Not even on who they are so much as what they want, right? Because most things are external. We invest more in vanity than we do in sanity. And it makes sense to us. It makes sense to spend more money on what I got on than what's inside of me. That comprehends to people, right? Because it is a false illusion. It is appearing to be better than I am. It is focusing on what you see and not who I be, because then I can convince you that I'm okay with me. And most times we're not, right? And so it's really doing the work. Good morning. Good morning. So really, it is really doing the work, really actually going through that process. You know what I mean? So
it really is.
So the state of emergency is spot on. Me and Lala was supposed to do, like right before the pandemic, we were supposed to do a conference that was called State of Emergency, Emerge and See. I think we had flyers and everything. Really? But then the pandemic hit. But yeah, so it was like that whole idea is just focusing on the fact that we have a responsibility. Yeah. And the ability is up to us to make the proper decisions, to decide what needs to be cut off in the moment. So if God sent you there, then it's your time. As they say, you'll never leave the same way you came. I always say and believe that it's because you either dropping something or picking something up. And that's why you don't leave the same way. So it's like, when you're leaving places, are you less full or more full? And then that lets you know if you actually took heed to the moment, because abracadabra is the moments in time that you take heed and what you speak over yourself at the very moment, the very thought system that you have and what you're trying to create in that moment. So yeah, it is important that we understand our value, so we understand how well we are to create in any situation, every moment, right? Because it's like you equip for today. You may not be equipped for where you're going tomorrow, but God will surely equip you for your 2 days. You know what I mean?
That part. Because Ron says we have to invest back to our youth with our time and not our bag.
That part, right?
You gotta invest time into them children.
Yes.
Our faith says the children.
Yes. I love that. And we have to invest back to our youth with our time and not our bag, because that's the thing that lasts, right? Material things should be up one day, going the next. But when you give them the information and that time and that knowledge, you give them a feeling. And that feeling transfers into life lessons and blessings, right? And so, yeah, you can give them the shoes, they're going to throw it around. You ever be like, y'all didn't spend this much, you got your clothes on the floor, you got this, because they don't understand the value of time and money. Yeah, they don't understand it.
The cost, the price it took for the cost of that materialistic thing. Yeah. You know, so it's like, but if you just do things with them, they remember those moments, and those are the stories they tell.
Yes.
It's like, even if it's like, oh, I remember when mommy and dad bought me a car and we drove to such and such and such, and we did such and such and such. That was a short little thing. But the memory of where y'all went in that car and what y'all did and who made who laugh and who dropped the ice cream on who, and those
who was arguing with who.
Those are them stories. Creating memories, man. Spending time, and time creates memories.
Yes, it creates.
And that's the investment. That's the investment. It's not money, it's time.
And time is money. So it's like you understand that it's a difference, right? And so it's like I go here for the service, right? So I have to exchange my time for money. Good morning, Queen Lynette. I go here. Yep, memories and experiences.
That's part. What I was missing.
That part.
Yep.
Because that's your experiences changes your belief system. Right? And I'm sure
it shapes your life.
It shapes it. Yes, it does.
It does.
I mean, just think about when we go back to remember our times. We were home, being amongst each other, right? Like whether it was us and the cousins, whether we was playing Apollo, trying to stay up to 1 to watch Apollo, and so that we could, because we're young people. You remember Apollo came on at like 1 a.m. And you wanted to watch Apollo, so we would take the time to what? Perform as Apollo contestants so that we could keep our energy up while we got prepared. I remember,
and memories come back. I'm trying to tell you all about Apollo. Yes, we did.
And so that we can stay up. For Apollo, we created, so we have that memory where we can just crack up laughing because it was like, yes, do you remember when? It was like, it was so hard to stay up late when you're like 10, 11, 12. It's like 1 o'clock is so far. And it's like, okay, everybody get up. What you going to sing? Everybody wanted to sing All Along on a Sunday Morning. Let me tell you something. Experiences. Experiences is all we got. Experience. When our cousin, God rest his soul, was killed in California at 16, right? But the year before he was killed, because he lived in Cali and we all was in New York, my uncle brought him down, and so we literally got all adults. You know how back in the day, honey, kids are somewhere else, adults are somewhere else, right? So all adults together, and we all in the basement playing. You remember? And you remember the light could fall down out the sky, and you remember he was beating us with the pillow, and the whole thing shook, and I was like, and the thing fell down. I said, "Oh my God." Mama Faye gonna kill us.
We gonna get it.
And then because he never gets to visit, he just was like, oh, little Philip. He was like, Faye, don't worry about it. I did it. He did do it. He did break it. But we didn't get in trouble because he was a guest. Now, he might have got a beating if he was there all the time. But he was a visiting cousin. But it was like, those are the memories we got. And in the following years, you know, we lost him, right, to gun violence. So it was like, wow. But had it not been for that experience, we wouldn't even have a memory to sit back and think about, right? You know?
Experiences lead to memories.
Because we don't know how long we got each other. So when you make the experience count, and it's not, it was no money, it was no exchange, it was no stuff. It was a moment in time that we got to experience with our older boy cousin, and to only lose him later, but know that moment mattered. So it is so seizing those moments and remembering that, because that made you smile. At the time you're distraught, but when you get to get past the pain and over that part, you could look back and be like, man, I remember when. I'm so glad that they came. I'm so glad that I have that memory, right? Because it allows us to search back when you're going through those moments. Like, you know, I think I wrote that in the book when people going through their winter season and it's hard during the Christmas time because of grief and losing people. But if you could just think about that song, their favorite song, think about the moment when you laugh. It just makes you feel grateful for the experience. Because like they say, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. And so the gift is in the loving. And because we don't know how long we get to love, then we make it count while we are loving. And I think
that part, it's all about love. Stop being so wicked in ways and just always come back to the love, because that's what's going to make it easier when going through when that person is no longer here, because nobody knows the time, place, or when.
I'm done with what the hell.
And so it's like create those positive memories, because the negative stuff, you can't do nothing with that. It's gonna make it even worse.
And have the hard conversations, right? That's how you heal. You heal by heart. I'm a firm believer in hard conversations. What you call that when people don't talk forever? Oh yeah.
What you call that?
What's it called? It's a grudge, ain't it?
It's a grudge? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, you know.
Oh, and well, it may not always be a grudge. It just may be, you know, a difference of realizing where y'all connect. Where it's not that I don't have love for you, or I just don't support
I don't
you in that way.
You like that. I just know how to deal with you.
What Juan says.
Not saying don't work, but instead of going to Vegas or Mexico, take them babies to Florida or Myrtle. Okay, got you.
So it's creating that, right? And that's one thing I love about our experience too, is that Chef Juan, and then you got to tell him, because he works in the hospitality, right, with the hotel. So he spends his time for money. So you may get rates, but it's because you showed up and worked for that. That what's the word? I can't remember. I can't remember what the word is. But when you get certain perks, that's it. Okay. That's the perk of being an employee, right? So even when we're taking the kids, the discount, there you go.
Discounts and
perks. So that way you're able to say, listen, we're experiencing this. So it's like, y'all have 5 kids and y'all go on vacation. Yes, because daddy goes to work. And he was like, oh, somebody get work at the airport, work at a hotel. Now you can cut your other costs. So now it'll be a different time, but that's still being intentional. He was intentional to say, we're going to make sure that they get to go somewhere. So the fact that we had 5 kids and we were young and trying to figure it out, then we found other ways to make sure that they didn't pay, because we wasn't so ready, right? But we were ready in the most important part, which is love. Why? Because love grows everything. So that, but you know, you can think back and say, oh, life could have been this, but it was so amazing. Why? Because we were together, because we did the vacation, because he made a lot of sacrifices, you know, and then we let them understand it so they could appreciate.
If she was gonna be out the house and be doing something else, I'm gonna make it count to be here, and it's gonna benefit all of us, my whole family. So we gonna
and friends, okay,
places, that part,
because friends definitely benefit over his stuff too. So he's a giving goal. He's very giving.
Like, I'm gonna get the perks and the benefits of being here away from my family. But y'all gonna benefit from me being here as well. So I do love that part.
I love that part.
That's how you do it, boo. That's how you do it.
Here on to L.
Well, a lot of lives are about to be changed with this Freaknik documentary comes out soon on Hulu. They got a Freaknik documentary.
That thing coming out.
Oh Lord, I'm saying the documentary.
A documentary.
I'm sounding all country.
Documentary.
Honey,
that's gonna be a mess. Some memories need to be lost from the ball.
What stays? What goes on that Freaknik stays at Freaknik. Why they trying to put it on blast on?
I guess they already done blasted Girls Gone Wild for all years.
Lord,
and that really wasn't us.
Right there, right.
That wasn't so much of our
but see, now they trying to bring it out.
Now they want to let you know that everybody a little freaky. in their own culture. They just call it something different. We went straight out. Freaknik.
Call it what it is.
Where was Freaknik at?
Where was that?
It's New York somewhere, right? Is it Jersey or? I don't know what city Freaknik is, but I definitely heard of a Freaknik. The good times, the value in the time, that part, because the value is it, right? If I spend the time and I don't value the time, it don't have the same worth. Yeah. So worth is found in the value you put on it, right? Or the creator, right? So if I created the moment, then I put the value on the time I spend in the moment, right? So if you could create the art, you put the value on the time you spend in the art. So the same thing, right? And so when you create the situations with your family, now you get to say what value it was because you were the creator. And so when God says we are the creators, we get to create our lives, like literally, by understanding that it's an ongoing, right? As we always say, it's the ING. Yes, honey, we got that discount.
Honoring your request to not speak to you.
That's a good one.
Honoring your request to not speak to you.
You got to, right?
That's what you said.
If that's what you said.
Honor my request.
Yeah.
Oh, it was ATL. Okay. It was.
The New Yorkers, they don't know about Freaknik.
The New Yorkers don't know about because
Freaknik is in ATL. Okay, I didn't know that.
No, it's not in New York.
I feel like I heard
ATL. New Yorkers don't know.
But I definitely heard Freaknik. I heard that phrase in New York, unless they were saying it was on their way.
Tanya, somebody else. Freakily.
Listen, if Freaknik is in ATL, I am afraid to see that documentary. Let me tell you, honey.
Oh, please
don't. Oh, Lord. Who bought that? And why Hulu bought it? You know Hulu is a major platform. No, y'all didn't. They could have left that on there.
I don't want to hear about it when it comes out.
They could have put that out on Zeus. Everybody don't got Zeus, so y'all won't put it on Hulu. Y'all something else.
They want you to see it.
Freaknik is a Zeus program. We all know Zeus is ratchet.
Wait a minute.
What does mama say?
She says, intentional to let the children experience allowing them to travel with cousins because parents cannot afford to travel as family groups together. Okay.
To travel with cousins. I
had my share traveling with my cousins.
Yes, you do.
I was always with my cousins.
You was always.
And when I was with my dad, I wanted my cousins to come with me. I was lonely.
It is lonely being an only child.
It is lonely.
It's very lonely. We never experienced what it means to be lonely.
The blessings. That's a
blessing. It is a blessing in disguise. It's one of them blessings in disguise, right?
That's a blessing.
Because the person that has all the time doesn't want it, and the person that don't have the time want it. So like I said, we can all find value in each other's experiences, but the job is to find value in your own. Because when you find value in your own, that's the grace for the space to grow into a new level. And so we can always see what somebody has that we don't have, but can we see what we have that somebody else don't have? So comparing is the thief to gratefulness, as I say time and time again, because we all are designed with us in mind for who we gonna become, right? And so you got used to a smaller, calm, like, we cry past here, lights out at 9. My Chef Mom be like, ain't no way, are they sleeping in there? I said, okay, they on one bed, they laid up, right? But because I would be like, I ain't gonna have no kids. I had a lot of siblings, and then I ended up with 5 children. Was like
used to a lot of the people's in the house and the gathering and
And that's why I like to say that God had prepared me. He was raised when I didn't even know, right? And so your experience is taking you somewhere else, is equipping you, right? And so at the time, you don't understand the value in the moment, right? But because of the value of the moment, it seasons you later for Big Mama's cooking, right? And so I had to learn how to put the seed. I had to learn how to be fair. I had to learn all of that so that I could be who I am in my life with all of my kids and being a wife and all of that stuff. So it was like, you have to go through the process in order to be the promise, right? And we don't understand the process at the time until you're sitting in the moment like, ooh,
yeah,
I'm used to making big meals. I'm used to doing, prime example, Chef Ryan, when I say stuff like, you know, what made you be like, oh, she's the one, right? Because remember, we met at 19, was married by 21. So that wasn't a long time in most people's face, especially with us being so young. But it made me think about, all of the different stuff I had to learn. So one of the things he said was, like, I'm used to doing laundry for so many people. So when we was, you know, roommates, and he would come over and help so much and drop us here, I was like, well, you in school full time, you work a 3rd shift job, well, just drop your laundry off and I just put it in the load with my load. That meant so much to him. For me, it's like, I'm used to doing 10 people clothes. Me and a +1 is nowhere near the level. So for him, it was everything. For me, it was just my behavior, right? Right. And it's like, well, I'm doing my load, and my load is tiny. So if I add your load to my load, it's nothing. It's a basket full. So it's like, so that preparation, you understand what I'm saying? Got us to, before I read what they said, I see he put that in. She was a wife when I met her, right? And so
that was
you see what I'm saying?
It's
so
like, dang.
That was preconditioning. I didn't think nothing of it because it was natural for me. It was a part of my habitat. So cooking, you have extra food. So I'm like, well, we always got all this food left over. Well, since you get off so late, I'm going to put a plate in the microwave, right? That, for me, was just regular human behavior. We got all this food. It wasn't even a thought.
Man, to feed the man to his stomach. It wasn't nothing like anybody thinking about that. It's like I'm gonna make sure you eat. You know, I appreciate you. I appreciate all the things you do. So it's nothing extra for me. It's just human decency to say, I see you too, and I thank you for all that you do. The least I could do is, before I put this food up, I'm gonna fix you a plate and put it in my way. And so when you come, make sure you.
And because I had the time too. Remember, I had 0 kids and plenty of time.
That part. Oh, okay. He said it's equivalent. What was it? It's equivalent to Labor Day parade mixed with the block party, all in Brooklyn. Freaknik. Okay.
Oh,
got you. Yeah.
Because we know the Labor Day parade. Is that?
Oh my goodness.
Is that the Labor Day parade? We got to go to that
on Eastern Parkway. Yeah, on Eastern Parkway, Labor Day parade mixed with a block party in Brooklyn when they close up the street. So it's like
Freaknik, but is Freaknik at a beach? What used to be at the beach when they used to play it on the radio all the time? I thought they called that Freaknik too. Is Freaknik a beach experience? Is it on the beach?
I don't know.
You know,
I
guess we're going to have to watch a documentary, huh?
What's that when they be on the bikes with thongs and stuff on?
Oh, no, that's Myrtle Beach, huh?
But what's that called?
What is that called? Bike ride. Bike rally. Is it bike rally?
Oh. Yeah.
It's something like that.
Somebody tell us in the comments. I'm sure y'all are. Thank God there was no Facebook, TikTok, IG, Atlanta, Philly, Hampton, Virginia. Not that I was there. All right, off the air.
I'm telling
you. Tell us about it.
You can judge some kids if you want to, but if they had a camera on y'all, honey, them kids would be all checking y'all.
What the hell with all that booty?
I'm telling you that.
You better not have been in no thong.
And she was in a biker club. She started a biker club. So she was in Myrtle Beach, tuned it up on the back of that bike. Talk about a girl. Listen, I went and visited the bike rally when I visited Amina at college that first year, and I went and I was just disgusted. So I could have made it at Freaknik.
Oh, see.
I am a member of Only Child's Club too. Oh, okay. You are only child.
Okay, got you. So you was always with your cousins too then? You had a lot of cousins?
Oh, he said ATL doesn't have a beach, babe. Oh. We must call it a different. I gotta remember what it is, but I know was it Jones Beach? There is something that they do Reese at Jones. Is it Jones or Reese Beach in New York? They might have copied it. I can't remember what they called it, but I know we'd be like, everybody going in there. What'd she say?
She said the day we was leaving for the Philly Freaknik, my girlfriend got in a car accident leaving out of the rear car lot. Oh, don't think folks from New York didn't come down, especially when it was in Philly. Y'all are not innocent by no means. I know my cousins came from Jersey.
See, that's what I mean. I felt like the Freaknik move. Because I remember like on the Hot 97, they'd be like, oh, Freaknik. And then I thought it was at Jones Beach. That's why I said, when I hear Freaknik, I think about like, I could hear it on the radio
location
where I heard that word before. That's why I said, it was in Atlanta, but I felt like they was promoting it over the radio. That's what I was saying. So when she said it was in Philly too, so I wondered if Freaknik was a traveling thing.
Oh, when it was in Philly.
Because she said when Freaknik was in Philly, that means they gotta be moving.
So it was in different locations. Yeah, they
or they just call it Freaknik. Because I'm like, I definitely recall them saying Freaknik on the radio in New York, because I'm like, what the world is a Freaknik? But I thought it was at Jones Beach, because I'm like, where's Jones Beach at?
The word said it all.
That Hot 97, honey. They used to.
97.
ATL don't have a beach, babe. I know. Bike
rally.
That's what it was called. Bike rally.
That's how you were raised to be a wife. Need a man to be that and appreciate.
Oh, I was raised to be a wife, honey.
Groomed up to be that.
Black Bike Week.
Black Bike Week. Okay. I am a bike rider and I am not a backpack. All right, off the air. I lived with my grandmother, so everybody came to her house. Got you.
That's how it be, right? Mm-hmm. Reese Beach in the Rockaways.
Okay, it was.
Okay, Reese Beach is in the Rock. Okay.
Okay.
But I just know I remember hearing Freaknik. So I'm like, oh, so that means they're gonna show all of the cities buck wild. Because if Freaknik had a tour, then when they showing it, because like Girls Going Wild, right? When it came out, it was like Miami was like just at different areas when they was on spring break, and they was just called it Girls Going Wild. And so no matter where they was, you just knew that when you saw Girls Going Wild, they was on that New Orleans stuff. It was like beads for breastises. Beads for breastises.
I can't. And they gonna make sure they show that.
But yes, I know we got all over the place.
At your own risk. They went to Atlanta at your own. You gonna go to any of them things at your own risk. Trust me. Because you don't know who filming. All of a sudden, they be like, wait a minute. Is that you in the corner right? Girl, you don't never.
Yeah, and that's so crazy because we're talking about a time when you didn't have social media, but everybody was recording.
I don't even know I'm being recorded. You'll be like, why is I'm on and viral? What did it? No, that ain't me.
Yeah, a lot of them Girls Going Wild started suing that guy. Yeah, they started suing that guy because they were seeing, there would be people who was accomplished, their parents was accomplished, and then they was all over the Girls Going Wild thing because they didn't get permission. They was just recording that, honey, exposing their fly on the wall, honey. Don't act so perfect, girl. You was in there bagging it up.
I seen you, girl. No, you right there. Right, no, not the main one, but right there. I see you.
Somebody got Polaroid. Now you remember Atlanta has the underground. You had the Cascades Road skating place.
See,
so we didn't travel. So we missed.
I only went for training, but I didn't really get to be out in Atlanta now, child.
No, I don't know. Is Cascades still open in Atlanta, or was she talking about back in the day when that Freaknik was around? Because has Freaknik even been around in the 2000s, as a matter of fact? So you were probably talking about, they're probably going to have recordings from 90s, maybe? You think 2000s? I don't even know. Is Freaknik still going on to this day is the real question. This is giving me hot topics today. Isn't it?
I haven't heard of a Freaknik. I don't think they still had it.
So I wonder if they ended before.
Rid of bike rally and all of that. Ain't they? They're trying to get rid of all of that
yes,
stuff.
Honey.
Going wow, they just doing too much.
Somebody has a Polaroid somewhere. Somebody has a roll of film somewhere. Somebody has a bag full of pictures. That part. That's how I used to catch your parents back in the day when they be acting like they so perfect. Then you go to grandma's house or great grandma's house, and then there's a photo album, and you be like,
sitting on.
You don't look so innocent in that picture. You don't look so innocent holding the cigarette. You don't look so innocent with that cup. And you sitting there judging. That's why I say transparency is the way you parent, right? Because now I'm trying to tell you, don't do what I did. Don't be a scallywag like your mama. Don't be a pimp like your daddy. I had to learn, but but don't be acting like you was just perfect. And we could do the math, right? Because the math ain't math. So you can start to doing the. You got to go back and do the math on parents because you be like, wait a minute, you done changed your age on me, right? That's why women didn't want to tell their age because if you did the math, you realize that they wasn't as innocent as they put on, right? And men wasn't as innocent as they put on. And sometimes it's hard living in your truth. That's why the world is in a state of emergency today.
Oh, the kids go in the room. We party in their hair.
Not the VCR tape. Definitely, they have to transfer that VCR to DVD to download now because now there's no even DVDs no more. Everything is downloadable. PNG.
That part right
PDF.
there.
Everything is something except for tangible. So life became life is so much more intangible now. It's like it's in the air, it's
digital,
in the vibe.
Download
digital.
Shoot, everything gets smaller and smaller.
Girls went wild.
They ain't gone wild. They done went wild.
I was never that parent. Girls going wild. No, I will give you a whole lot of credit. You was never the front and parent. I'm gonna tell you, honey.
Yeah.
You gonna know.
I walk around no.
Oh yeah. No, just. And I remember, like you were saying, like cold turkey, right? Because she used to smoke for years. I used to hate it though. I hated the cigarette smoke, especially because people judge, right? You in elementary, and they looking at you like, "Girl, you smoking in bathroom?" No, I ain't. Smelling like it ain't me. So you wanted to be. I was just telling Chef Ron that you wanted to be the good girl, right? And you didn't want people to think bad stuff. So you're like, no, it ain't me. So I used to hate smoking, but I remember when Pastor did the whole people quitting cigarettes. And so it was so empowering because the way he held them accountable is every week. I don't give a damn how many, and I want to say damn, I don't care how many people showed up that were going through where he preached and had everybody come and throw their cigarettes in the bucket, right? And that day started. But every Sunday, he would have them stand up and say how they're doing and that they were still such and such days strong, right? And this is Sunday service, right? This is testimonial time. So it gave the idea that you could break it with support and accountability to self. And so because, you wanted to come in and say, I'm still on the thing, you became full with the testimony of healing past the affliction or whatever you let put in the way of your pain, because we always, we feed ourselves to cope, right? It's coping mechanism. So it's like drinking, as they say in the Bible, is for depression. People who are depressed, they drink, right? So it's like, so when you're doing it at a higher level, it's because you're consuming, right? So it was like, I love that they had that experience, but yeah, that honesty parenting, like, don't front, because them kids gonna find out, and then you're gonna be a liar. And then once you become a liar, by the time they need your support, they're not gonna trust you because they thinking like, wait a minute, you made me feel bad, as if it's so easy to withstand, or be a certain type of person when it's work. So tell me about the discipline it took. Tell me about how you got started and it was hard to break it. Tell me about why you don't want me to walk up this way because of the destruction. And tell me real stories, real evidence, so that we can be in a better position. So it's like, yeah, don't lie to me. Tell me the truth so that I can actually show up in that magnitude. So the state of emergency is realizing that, the state that you're in, it matters. We got two more. Want to read these two before we get to
She said, no, they stopped around about 96 or 97. They started shooting, so they called it off. Okay.
So that's why I said they definitely wasn't. I don't recall it in the 2000s. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, they must have stopped in the 90s.
Because she said the Cascades are still open. They'll never stop roller skating, girl.
Yeah. Right, because Cascades was where they shot ATL, right? The movie.
Oh, yeah. I think so, yeah.
With Nunu and T.I.
Yeah, Nunu. No, I can't. Myrtle Beach is trying to cancel the bike rallies, but they lose too much money. Atlantic Beach will probably make the most. They've been doing it since the 50s and 60s. Wow. Whoa. They have a white bike rally. They have a white bike rally the week before, and then the black bike week the next following week.
Mm-hmm. They even separate us on the bikes.
Yeah, so they have a white one first and then the black one.
Separation. Okay. As long as we divide them, we can conquer. What?
She said what, Precious?
One year we did bankrupt Myrtle Beach, and they were begging for us to come down and spend money. So don't act like our money don't make a difference in your economy. Well, you know it does, because if your money didn't make a difference, that's the only thing that keeps them acting like they like you. that money transfers from place to place. So the reason why they act like you know. The reason why they act like they know is because the one thing that is all the same is that green. And now the green ain't even got no power no more because the banks is closing and they're not giving you your money. So they trying to transfer everything into digital, right? As we said before. That's why the world's in a state of emergency. They don't know what's going on. You can't believe the government. You can't believe the jobs. You can't believe nobody, because everybody is got an ulterior motive. So, that's the state of emergency, because when you can't trust people's intention, you will stay in a state of emergency. When you can't trust they got what's best for you, you will stay in a state of emergency.
And it's going to be in a state of emergency. You start messing with that money. Them banks start closing down. Oh, that's it. You can't get your money out. Oh, we are ready. That's it. You start playing with people's money. If you want to, that's going to be the emergency.
That part.
She said one year the mayor's son did a bad drug transaction deal, and they tried to blame it on the Black Bike Week. I bet they did, honey.
My God.
It's always our fault.
Let me open up this book, since we're in a state of emergency and we are about to pull a car. We are at the hour. As I said, we was a little late. 15 minutes off of schedule, so we didn't rob y'all of the time. We gave y'all the full hour.
Absolutely.
Of coffee and conversations.
We're already over the hour, so
yes.
Get this word.
Oh, depression. Ooh. That's the state. Oh my God. Ooh. That is the state of emergency that we are in, a state of depression. That's powerful. That's why I opened up. So let's read today, y'all. Depression. The Lord hears his people when they call to him for help. He rescues them from all their troubles. Psalms 34:17. Why am I so sad? Why am I so upset? I should put my hope in God and keep praising him. Psalm 42:11. You, O Lord, are a shield about me, my glory and the lifter of my head. Psalm 3:3. He has delivered us from the power of darkness and conveyed us into the kingdom of the Son of his love. And I love that, the Son of his love. See, the Son is spelled S-O-N, but it's the Son of his love, right? So it could go both ways, because like I keep on saying, it is light versus dark. So if he delivered us from the power of darkness, people always bring out that darkness, man, that dark was here before light, right? And then he said, let there be light. And I always say, I think he was talking about me and you, because the world was already dark. The way you appreciate light is because it came in and it made darkness abandon you, because light and dark cannot coexist in the same place. So when he said, let there be light, it eradicated darkness. Am I right about it? So depression is a feeling of darkness. So when you believe in the Son and his love, you get eradicated of the feeling that you are in the valley when you are actually on a mountaintop. That's why insanity is thinking, doing the same thing, expecting different results. So you already conquered it, but you're depressed about how it felt and what it was, even though you are victorious and you are in a place, but we operate in the victimhood, which then makes you in the dark. Being a victim is darkness. Being a victor is finding the light, right? And so you found the light, but because you didn't understand that he delivered you from depression, meaning the darkness, and he sent his Son of his love, come on now, so that you can get the light, so that it can overshadow whatever it is that you're thinking about, because he lets you see it so you can clean it. Isn't it easier to clean in the light than it is in the dark? You know what to tackle. So once if I go in a room of darkness, I could be around that nasty, dirty room and not know nothing. But the minute he shines a light on it, you're now disgusted in the same place that you had no idea that it was looking like that. You'll walk freely, not knowing the dysfunction and dirt. But the minute he exposes it to you, it is your responsibility to clean up the mess. So last but not least, it says, Father, there are days I just want to crawl into your lap and stay. When those days string together and I find myself brought low, it comforts me to know you see my sadness and you want nothing more than to take it from me. You don't consider me ungrateful or selfish on these days. You just love me. Thank you for the shelter of your arms, the comfort of your embrace, and the deliverance of your joy. Can you sense God's comfort and joy in the middle of your sadness today? And so I think that is an amazing place to be. And I can sense the comfort and joy in the middle of my sadness on, you know what I mean? Because it is that making it make sense, right? It's not making it personal, but understanding it is process. And in all of those situations of sadness, God is just trying to give you a voice, right? To speak up for yourself, to actually show up for yourself, to be the creator of your life. And so when we're able to realize that the state of emergency is basically how we show up in said situations, then we change our darkness into light, because when you know better, you do better. And we got an opportunity to know better so that we can do better. So I think that was an amazing one for this topic, because the state of emergency is the depression, because how you feel is how you showing up. And so with all the killings and all of the dysfunction in love and legacy and family and friends and all kind of stuff that hinders us and make us feel that emotional thing, it is a depression. And so I think that he gave us a good word for today that collaborates with what is the state of emergency. The state of emergency is depression right now.
That's what's happening. That's the feeling that people are having in this state of emergency. It's definitely depression. So yeah, that was right on the head.
So the depression is the impression that decision is making on you. So it's already been decided, but you're still holding on to the memory of the expectation, which is why you're depressed. If you release the expectation and turn the lesson into your blessing, then it won't depress you. It would teach you. And so he says from glory to glory to glory. And so it's just for you to learn something out of it. And so we could just stop holding on to the experiences and figure out what it was showing us, then we can become lighter. And once again, we become those water walkers. So that being said, that was a great word for for us being all over the place, but still God stayed the course. No matter how far we went in our topic, he brought us back to the closing of what is a state of emergency, and it's how you feel about yourself. Right? Okay. So, are we ready? I am necessary and I am, is that magnificent? Absolutely. Yes. I am necessary and magnificent. Ooh. Wow. So when you think about being necessary, you think about the power to know that without you, there would not be, right? And being magnificent is knowing the power behind you being necessary. And so what makes you magnificent is the fact that you know that who you are, what you've been through, all of those things is what makes you necessary, because God said that we would be the answer, which means there had to be a problem. And now we're depressed because God trusted us to go through so that we can be a teacher to somebody else, because we were so studious through the necessary changes that it required to mold us into the perfect God piece that we were created to be. And so the experiences are imperfect, but the molding process becomes that piece that you bring in to your assignment. And so we get an alignment for our assignment when we are magnificent in the ability to know that we are necessary no matter what.
Yes, we are. We were, like our face said, created for a purpose. We are all necessary. We were all born and put on this earth because, and still here because we are necessary. So Just remember, you are magnificent. That word, when was the last time y'all heard that word? Magnificent. Just saying it sounds like, ooh.
I am magnificent.
I am magnificent. Honey, you say that today. Say that today to yourself because you are necessary. Whatever you went through, it was necessary. It was for somebody else. It was a lesson for you to learn, and it was for you to teach somebody else.
That part.
The journey that you went through, everything about it. Get something out of it because it was necessary for you.
And magnificent was such a good word. I did not want you to assume.
That word.
I want you to have clarity. And so, as I say, no matter what you get, the game always comes with the definitions. And so, magnificent is grand, elegant, or splendid in appearance, grand or noble in action, exceptional for its kind. So, if you're one of a kind, then understanding that one of a kind, that necessary part, is what makes you magnificent. Because whether it's in action or in your appearance, that means you are at the top of your game. That means you are one of its kind. It say exceptional for its kind. So when you outdid or you went through those things and you're still in the condition that you're in, that's what makes you exceptional. You understand that? And so knowing that you are necessary is the exceptional piece, because we all go through life. Unless you know who you are and whose you are, it doesn't even matter the power that you hold. So knowing is showing. So they were specific that it is how you look and how your actions show up in a magnificent way. And so I just want to give a little bit of clarity, because I think definitions change the way we see words. Even if we think it's a powerful word, it's given magical. But magnificent is your magic, your personal magic, because it is a one-of-a-kind type of thing, right?
That's something, because them words is crazy. Because, I mean, just think of the spin. You know, I'm just turning the negative into the positive. So although we are in a state of emergency, or things could seem like it's a state of emergency, and you fall into a depression, right? Emergency, depression, negative, right? Turn that around, and now, because you are necessary, because you are magnificent, you are grand, right? You are elegant, stunning, all of them good things, right? You turn that depression around. We ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? You rise up, right? Come on, Easter was yesterday, Easter Monday. He rose with all power in his hand, even though he died on the cross on Friday. He rose. So because you are magnificent and you're necessary, you rise from that depression. You rise from whatever the state of emergency is. Okay? So because you recognized it and you rose to the occasion, because you are magnificent and you are very necessary.
Period.
That part.
So this has been an amazing topic, I swear. And it is important that we, take inventory on our state of mind. Okay?
State of mind. The state of mind. Keep your state of mind in check.
Yes. So
period.
It's all about your state of mind. And so to be in the state of emergency is realizing that you were put through so that we can see what comes out of it, right? So from the phoenix, right? You come out like a phoenix from the ashes. So, as we love to say, I gave my life to Jesus, and he gave a brand new life to me. Boy, won't you look a little closer? So, that is all that we have for you today. This has been an amazing hour and some change. Great conversations. Remember, it is a relay race, and somebody is relying on you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave your soul print, because the fingerprint tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right. And what God got right is you. So it is your job not to compete, but to complete. And the difference between them two words is an L, and the L stands for love. And love grows everything, so you should love yourself first. But remember, you can never turn on anybody else's light. but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. It is your responsibility. The ability in which you are required to respond. We love you. You are in a state of emergency. Time for you to figure it out so that you could be your best self. I am telling you.
We can't see them pictures.
And don't forget to flip those switches and wake up and make today count. That part. So as you said, you have been tuned in to Coffee and Conversations.
We can't see the pictures when y'all do it on live, but I can see them.
Oh, not a mic drop.
Mic drop. Bam.
Yeah. Anyway, look, I didn't get to see all that. See, I gotta start looking on now.
Put it on.
Oh, and then you can see it. Yeah. Oh, look at those little emojis. Pictures. How cute is that?
I felt this one.
Oh, great.
Oh, he's so sweet.
So, before we leave and we shut out, because we don't want you to forget. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
To make today count. I don't even know what that was on. I just want to end with our good morning to you, with the kids, just in case you didn't see it yesterday.
Good morning.
To you, the birds are chirping. Ooh, ooh. Here, we're going to close out. Oh, and I took it out of my volume. That is it, you guys. We shall see you guys tomorrow. Look at Ray Vaughn. That is my favorite. Those my kids are too much. Well, anyway, you guys have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow, one time at 8:45. We will be here.
8:45. We will be here.
Love you, love you, love you.
To do.
Have a great day. You've been tuned into Coffee and Conversations. So don't forget to wake up and make today count. Bye-bye.
See you in the morning.
See you later.